RHS Young Ambassador in October 2015. At just 10 years old, and in order to inspire other children to share his love of gardening and the natural world. In May 2014, George was crowned RHS Young School Gardener of the Year in the RHS campaign for school gardening. It's brilliant for us here at the Trust to have a young person who's interested in gardening, who's interested in bees, to come and talk to us. This is a first for us at AGM, so blow us all away, George.
Hello, my name is George Hassel. I'm 14 years old from Manchester. First of all, thanks for inviting me. It's a real pleasure and honour to be here at your AGM amongst like-minded people. So, apart from being a budding gardener, I'm also a birder, a climate and environmental campaigner, as I feel very strongly about the conservation of this planet and all the nature that is reliant on it. As I said, I'm an avid birder. I enjoy going over to places like the Dee Estuary and seeing all the raptors there, especially on high tide. That's just a proper wildlife spectacle. I also like the band Queen, The Clash, watching Doctor Who and reading Harry Potter books repeatedly, but I'll go into detail on that. Now, my gardening journey began about the age of 4 when my mum set up a local food group called Operation Farm. There's a community allotment, orchard and kitchen where food is grown, cooked and stocked. At the same time, my dad started working on our garden at home. There was a lot of landscaping to do and we worked on it together. We worked really hard in our own garden to make sure it's wildlife friendly, planting a wide variety of plants, shrubs and building a pond. At primary school, we had a fantastic gardening and forest school teacher, Sarah. She started an after-school club called the Gardening Gang, and Sarah nominated me for the RHS Young School Garden of the Year 2014, and I won. It all sort of spiralled from there, really. I met the Queen. A year later, in 2015, Alan Titchmarsh presented me as the first ever RHS Young Ambassador in its 200-year plus history, which is really cool. I spoke at the Houses of Parliament, appeared on TV, including The One Show, BBC News, Gardener's World, and I'm proud now to be known as the Blue Peter Gardener. Now, part of my role as an RHS Ambassador is to inspire and encourage young people to get into gardening and consider horticulture as a career. I also try to get people to have a love in nature too. Over the years, I've visited a number of schools and spoke at assemblies, helped with their garden, and ran seed planting workshops. All the time, I'm sharing my passion and love for all things natural. Last year, I helped my mum set up a kids' version of Operation Farm. There's nearly 20 of us young Operation Farmers, including Charlotte, who's here with us today. She's mad about bees. We take part in activities and workshops about gardening, cooking, looking after wildlife habitats and caring for the environment. I organised my own big garden bird watch event, and just last weekend, for example, we organised a pop-up cafe where we served harvest soup to over 50 people. I've judged a lot of the junior entries at horticulture shows, from RHS Chatsworth to Woburn Abbey, and even my own local community centre. More recently, the Duchess of Cambridge and I judged a Blue Peter competition for a sculpture to be installed at the Back to Nature garden at RHS Risley. That was pretty special. Apart from the Duchess, I've also met some amazing and influential people. There's Alistair Griffiths, the RHS Director of Science, who gave me advice on how to use a microscope. And I was recently amazed at a water flea. They're tiny little organisms which just appear to be small dots, but under a microscope they're a really complex animal with loads of body parts and organs. I've met Adam Frost loads of time. Like me, he's an RHS ambassador. Apart from being an incredible garden designer, he's a geezer and stitched me up at the question and answer event at Woburn Abbey. There's Adam Davis, an incredible landscape designer, described as being the top of his game. To me, he's a northern nutcase. And then there's the coolest gardener in town, Mr. Ishihara. Now, I've met him at RHS Chelsea loads of times. I love Japanese gardens, and his gardens are just breathtaking. Being asked to be the Blue Peter Gardener is a dream come true, and I know I have a lot to live up to. I think it's a bold move to ask a young person, but it's made in such a fun and entertaining way to appeal to a young audience, aiming to show that gardening can be cool. Flower shows are really inspiring for young people. You can gain inspiration from the beautiful gardens and take part in fantastic interactive stores and workshops. Tatton and Chatsworth, for example, had a butterfly dome and a living laboratory. And of course, that's where we first met the Bumblebee Conservation Trust, which is where my dad found out about a sting in a tail. He was totally blown away by it, and it's been a bedtime read for me too. Attending conventions like this, which are accessible to young people, are really inspiring. I write a blog about them and use social media. My first conference was to a packed audience of young horticulturalists. I was aged 9, and now here I am 5 years later. I use my blog and social media to inspire young people to get involved with gardening, and I'm getting there in terms of understanding how each media type attracts a different audience. But I don't sit there on my phone all day. I've got my PA, my mum, for that. I also think that one of the best ways to get anybody involved in anything to do with outdoors is just by getting stuck in. Personally, I think young people see a sort of barrier in terms of gardening and wildlife. It's not cool and it's only for a type of people, no offence, when it's not. There's so many opportunities when it comes to gardening. You don't have to be a horticulturist, dig in a hole, put your plant in. There's so many jobs which can be related to gardening. The science of plants, botany is mind-blowing. Taking inspiration from plants as a photographer, for art, or an artist. You can even work at a football stadium. I mean, after all the gardening, the grass needs cutting. Now, one of the things that fascinates me about gardening is plants. Now, I'm not afraid to say that I am a plant nerd. Plants really do interest me. Did you know that the Venus flytrap can count? That a nepenthes in Borneo can eat rats? And there's also a plant, I've forgotten the name and where it comes from, whose sting is said to be so powerful that soldiers surviving in the jungle wiped his behind with the leaf. And it was said that the pain was so intense that he shot himself. The benefits of gardening are endless. Obviously, digging, planting, walking are good for your physical health. Also, it's proven that gardening and just immersing yourself in the outdoors can help your mental health. For example, it may not be to do with gardening, but this spring we were on the Isle of Mull, feeling a bit depressed because it was our last day. We were all down inside the camper, snacking on pistachio nuts when my mum said, "What's that over there?" And there was a white-tailed sea eagle flying towards us, enormous and living up to the flying Ballon name. We all got super excited and our hearts were lifted, which just proves that any interaction with nature helps. And just generally going out into the garden for 10 minutes and clear your mind, taking deep breaths of fresh air. You don't even have to do any gardening. Just sit amongst the flowers, smell the rosemary and the thyme, feel the soft grass and leaves, listen to the sound of bees buzzing and the sharp, high-pitched sound of goldfinches. It's just a total joy. Now, I'd like to spend a few minutes to describe our garden. We made a decision early on to garden organically, as we recognised that the natural environment was under attack from all sides. Global warming, habitat loss, use of herbicides and pesticides. We therefore decided to do our bit and make our garden as wildlife friendly as possible. Garden organically can make a big difference, and by creating a wildlife friendly garden, we've seen it ourselves this year. It's been alive with insects, lots of butterflies, including 10 painted ladies in one day, lots of bumblebees of a variety of species. Once I got home from school, and my dad had been working in the garden, and he said, "Come and look at this, I hope it's still there." Went up into the garden, past the magnolia, up the steep steps, past the veg patch, up more steps towards the pond. There, on the flowering thyme, was the biggest bee I have ever seen in my life. I'm going to say the old fisherman's joke and say it was this big, but seriously, it was like the wasp out of Doctor Who. It was a hill cuckoo bee, and they have a really interesting life. What they do is they lay their eggs into the nests of red-tailed bumblebees. It's mostly why I thought it was a queen red-tailed bumblebee. This process is obviously quite similar to the common cuckoo who lays its eggs into the nests of willow warblers who then bring up the chick as their own. We've got an ever-growing pond which provides a place for bees to drink from, and ponds are just an all-round nature must-have. They're great for animals to drink from, and a breeding ground for small organisms and insects which feed predators. They're also great for birds to bath in. Ours is full of insect larvae, and this year we know that large red damselflies hatched and a beautiful female broadbody chaser. Ponds make a great feature in the garden, and just the sound of running water can create a real calming effect. I'd recommend all these kinds of things to people wishing to create a wildlife garden. Of course, this might not be possible for some, but you can always build a bug hotel. I built loads of these at schools, scouts and at home over the years, although our garden is practically one big bug hotel. We've never had much success with wildflowers. It could be that the garden slopes, there's not much sun, and other plants crowd them out. We're currently sorting out an area that might be suitable. We're creating an area near the bird feeder to put some wildflowers in. This leads me nicely onto the Be Kind tool. I spent a fair bit of time playing around with the Be Kind tool, and I thought it was really good. From a child's point of view, I liked how it went into depth, asking how big the area the plants were and how many pots it would fill. I also think that it's surprisingly rewarding to see how bee-friendly your garden really is. It also makes you think what you can do yourself to make your garden really healthy. It also explains well what points you got, how you lost points. There is also a feeling of competition to get the best score. It really is very good. It shows you some of the plants that are bee-friendly and those that are super bee-friendly. Therefore, you can use them in your own garden at home. Now, I'm proud to say that I took part in the youth strikes, and sometimes people ask, what's the point? Well, I'll tell you why. This is our future, and those who still refuse to accept the responsibility of preserving this planet, or who downright believe that no threats face it, are kidding themselves. How long will it take them to realise? How much evidence will it take for doubters to realise the clock is ticking, the fuse is being lit? The leaders of this country and of the world have their heads stuck in the wrong places. Every once in a while, we all need to find our place in the world. We all need to take a walk through a beautiful place like Glenmore on the Isle of Mull and see golden eagles soar through the mountains. We all need to sit by the pond and see butterflies in the buddleia and bees buzzing around the chives and through the verbena. We all need to see this planet, not just as a way of thriving, but as a way of surviving. This world is not just a place to build on and choke with gas and pollute its oceans with plastic, but to preserve and enjoy. Every once in a while, we need to sniff the honeysuckle and taste the apples that only this planet can produce. This planet is 4.54 billion years old, and we've been here for 200,000 years. And yet, already we steal its oil and resources, choke and slow cook the planet. Already, in that time, we produced a poisonous weapon, plastic, for it just to end up in the sea, killing turtles and dolphins and other wonderful marine life. Every once in a while, we need to think about how long we've been here. If you condense the age of the Earth to a year, we've been here just 23 minutes. And in that time, we've hunted wildlife to extinction. Though some of us attempt to rebel, there is still a massive issue choking this planet. If we work together as conservationists, we can achieve a great deal. Every once in a while, we need to look at the footsteps on the beach that we have left because the tide is coming in. Now, thank you for listening, and I will end with a reworded version of the lovely song, It's a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. And please join in for the oh yeah bit at the end. I see stars at night, the red skies too. I see them shoot into the blue. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see the waves of blue and the cliffs of white, the sun dew shining, catching the light. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The slow worm basking, the red tail buzzing by, a hill cuckoo feasting on some time, the osprey fishing, dining on its prize, the dartford hiding, sheltering from my eyes. I hear nightjars chirp, I see them fly. The bats swoop down as I cycle by. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world altogether. Oh, yeah.